BBC Radio Cornwall.
I'm just going to start with Tessa. 15 million pumpkins seems a huge amount not to do anything with but stick a candle in.
That's pretty scary, isn't it? And that's enough to make everyone in the UK a bowl of soup. So, yeah, carving the pumpkins, carve it, eat the insides.
Yeah, but Lisa, eating the insides, they're quite tricky. They're sticky and they're full of pips. Have you got any tips?
Do you know what? I actually think they're not too bad. And if you're doing it with kids, it's really quite good fun because they like anything that's sticky and a bit messy. So we tend to carve out the pumpkin, scoop out all the seeds, and then I just wash the seeds through a colander. And then I put them in the oven and I roast them, and you've got lovely seeds. But I also roast my pumpkin, so then I scoop out all the flesh. And I've put a really easy roasted pumpkin recipe online, and it's roasted pumpkin pancetta and sage.
Oh!
And you literally put all your scrapings of your pumpkin into a roasting tin with a bit of olive oil, some smashed garlic, some lovely sage, a bit of pancetta if you want to, a North stock cube. Or whatever you've got, put it into the oven, 40 minutes, comes out, and then you literally just bung it in a blender or whiz it up with a hand blender or mixer, and add a little bit of cream, and you have got or creme fraiche or sour cream, and you've got a really, really delicious soup. And I think for people that don't know how to cook pumpkin, it's actually a really good way, and it's really yummy.
It does. I can almost taste and smell that as you're talking about it. Tessa, why are we so bad at wasting food in this country? Are we just lazy?
I don't know, really. That's a really good question. I think a lot of people don't. No one buys food with the intention to waste it. And so I think it's really a question of we take it home and, it goes in the fridge and, we've not used it properly. So I think in terms of there's lots we could do for better planning, smarter storage, and then kind of more responsible disposal of it. I know we could all use our freezers more. I think sometimes, if you've got kids as fussy eaters, that sometimes contributes towards food waste. So, we've got a whole range of tips and tricks that you can do to reduce food waste at home on the Hubbub website at hubbub.org.uk. And eating your pumpkin at Halloween is just one of these, and that's part of our pumpkin rescue campaign that's just really showing that pumpkins are delicious and versatile, and we've got all kinds of tips on which parts of the pumpkin you can eat and ways to kind of make them really exciting if you're bored of pumpkin soup.
Okay, so Lisa, will you be doing that this year? Are you aware of how much food that as families in this country we waste?
Yeah, absolutely. I have, where we've just moved to, we have a food caddy. And it's the first time that I've had it where I now can you visibly see how much food, fruit and vegetables that you're throwing away. And it really has stopped us in the fact that I will always think, we've got the leftover bits of celery and carrot and pumpkin, whatever, and I will put it into a stew or a soup just so that we've used it. And I freeze loads of stuff, and I can use it for bases of sauces or whatever I want. But I think that it is, as a mum, yes, I'm a cook. Yes, I work in food pretty much all the time now. But as a mum, I'm really aware of what we're throwing away and what we're eating. And I think we all can do our little bit. And so, even if you are scooping out your pumpkin and making it into something else, it's great that you feel that you're taking one little step.
I just love that idea of you saying that you sieve through the seeds and then roast them. I buy packets of pumpkin seeds and you put them on food and it tastes great. I didn't even think of doing that. I would have just binned it. So This is really useful, isn't it?
But honestly, and they really are delicious, and it takes no time at all. But it's one of those things. Sometimes you're so busy and you're going. It's like when you're roasting a chicken and you use the carcass and you make a soup, and so many times you might throw it away. But actually you've got so much goodness there. And it's the same with the pumpkin. But the good thing is you've got most of the time you're carving pumpkins with kids. So you've taken that time to get messy, to get the kitchen messy. So why not then use the rest of the time to do the cooking as well with them, which they love. And sieving through the seeds takes no time at all, really, honestly.
So, Tessa, is it a fact that we just need a little bit more time to start from scratch, think a little bit more about what we're doing, get some bags out of the freezer and just store it rather than just binning it?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's just taking a little bit of time to think about what we're going to do with our food. Because really, if you've got kids, then you can save up to £700 a year on your food bill by just being a bit more careful. So it makes sense for everyone, really.
Absolutely. And finally, ladies, I've got to ask you, it's the Bake Off tonight. Woohoo! Are you watching?
Do you know what? This is the first series where I haven't watched one.
Lisa!
And I love it, and I've watched every year, and I just haven't had a minute this year. I don't know who's even in it. And I'm really, really sad because everyone's talking about it, and I know nobody.
Oh, so I can't go for Candice, who's very pouty.
There's somebody who pouts.
That's
That's all I know.
Yes. But talking of that, do you love to bake sweet stuff at home?
I do. I mean, my daughter likes to bake cakes, and we do a lot of baking of cakes. But to me, I like cooking. I like cooking dinners, and my family actually like cooking. The children prefer to make something savoury than baking. But we do have big baking afternoons as well, which are great fun.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very
you.
much.